You settle into the car feeling perfectly comfortable. The journey begins smoothly. Then the road starts twisting. Your stomach suddenly feels strange. Cold sweat gathers on your skin. Here it comes. Car sickness begins. The driver seems completely unaffected. Your eyes see a quiet cabin, while your body senses constant movement. Why does your stomach rebel? Why does a phone make everything worse? Is your stomach truly the problem? Is your brain following an ancient warning? The discomfort usually arrives in stages. You may begin yawning repeatedly. Your face pales. Your mouth suddenly fills with saliva. Warm heaviness spreads through your body. Then dizziness and nausea arrive. Some people vomit within minutes, while others only feel mildly uncomfortable. The vehicle is moving, but movement alone is not the complete answer. Running and dancing rarely cause car sickness. Stillness can also make people sick. Virtual reality can cause nausea without travel. The real problem involves interpreting motion. Your brain constantly estimates where your body is and where it is going. It combines several streams of information. Your eyes provide one important stream. Muscles and joints provide another. Your inner ears provide crucial balance information. Hidden inside them, each inner ear contains delicate, motion-sensing structures called the vestibular system. Tiny fluid-filled canals detect head rotations. Other small organs detect acceleration, gravity, and changes in direction. Together, these sensors maintain balance and orientation. Normally, those signals tell one story. Vehicles can scramble that agreement. Imagine reading in the back seat. The screen appears completely stationary. Meanwhile, your inner ears detect every turn, bump,
detects motion,
brake, and acceleration.
Shifts, turning, bumping, braking, and accelerating.
Your muscles feel the shifting seat. One system reports stillness, while another reports repeated movement. Your brain receives two competing realities. Scientists call this sensory conflict. That conflict can activate brain pathways connected with nausea and vomiting. The more unpredictable the motion, the harder those signals become to reconcile. Winding roads can feel especially brutal. It also explains why looking downward frequently makes symptoms worse. Books create the same confusing message. The page looks still, while your inner ears feel movement. Videos may deepen that disagreement further. Looking outside reveals useful motion clues. The passing landscape now matches what your inner ears report. A distant horizon offers a stable reference. Your senses now tell matching stories. Front-facing seats can sometimes help. You can see upcoming turns before your body experiences them. Prediction matters more than most passengers realize. Drivers watch and anticipate each change. Their brain also knows when steering, braking, or accelerating will happen. Passengers receive those forces without warning. Surprise turns increase sensory conflict. However, drivers are not magically immune. Violent motion can overwhelm almost anyone. Even experienced sailors sometimes meet a wave their stomach dislikes. Susceptibility also differs greatly between individuals. Children commonly experience motion sickness more often than very young infants. Sensitivity often decreases with age. But adulthood offers no universal protection. People with migraine may be especially vulnerable to motion sickness. Hormonal changes, fatigue, anxiety, and poor ventilation may increase discomfort. Past experiences shape future journeys. You remember getting sick before departure. That expectation raises anxiety and makes every small sensation noticeable. Soon the smell of the vehicle becomes a warning signal. Strong smells can intensify nausea. Memory joins in. For centuries, people blamed motion sickness on weak stomachs or fragile nerves. Sufferers were labeled nervous or soft. Yet hardened explorers and trained military personnel also became violently seasick. The stomach was reacting, but it was not directing the confusion. Modern research shifted attention toward the brain and balance system. Still, one major evolutionary question remains unanswered. Why should sensory mismatch produce vomiting? One hypothesis points toward distant ancestors. In nature, confused vision and balance might have suggested poisoning. Certain toxins can disturb the nervous system and create disorientation. Vomiting would then help remove dangerous material from the body.
The ancestor
Modern vehicles
ate the
may
fruit.
trigger that defense.
But what if it was a wheel?
It is a fascinating explanation, but not a proven final answer. Scientists still debate why nausea became linked with sensory conflict. Whatever its origin, the response appears in many modern settings. Cars repeatedly accelerate, brake sway, and turn. Boats at rolling, pitching, and movements coming from several directions. Airplanes may combine turbulence with limited views outside the cabin. Trains can create sideways motion while passengers stare at nearby objects. Amusement rides produce extreme sensory signals. Virtual reality reverses the usual problem. Your eyes report rapid movement while your inner ears report stillness. The conflict remains, even though the two messages have exchanged roles. Large screens can create similar effects. Even astronauts may feel sick when gravity stops behaving normally. Several simple choices can reduce car sickness. Begin by choosing a seat with less movement and better visibility. Face forward and look far ahead. On a boat, the middle area usually moves less dramatically. On an airplane, seats near the wings often feel steadier. Support your head during bumpy journeys. Avoid books and screens during motion. If looking outside fails, closing your eyes may reduce conflicting visual information. Slow breathing can also calm anxiety and help you tolerate discomfort. Fresh air helps. Directing a cool air vent toward your face may feel soothing. Heavy, greasy meals can make an already uneasy stomach harder to manage. Traveling completely hungry may not feel comfortable either. A small light meal is often the gentler choice. Water can help, but large amounts swallowed quickly may worsen nausea. Ginger helps some people, although results are not equally reliable for everyone. Wrist pressure bands are popular, but scientific evidence remains mixed. Medication can be useful when simpler strategies are insufficient. Some motion sickness medicines reduce signals involved in nausea and balance. They usually work better when taken before symptoms begin. However, several common options can cause significant drowsiness. That side effect matters greatly if you plan to drive. Children, pregnant people, and anyone taking other medicines need professional advice. A pharmacist or doctor can recommend an appropriate option. Persistent dizziness outside travel may have another cause and deserves medical attention. The brain can also learn through repeated exposure. Sailors often call this process getting their sea legs. At first, every rolling wave feels surprising and unpleasant. After repeated journeys, the brain may predict those movements more accurately. sensory conflict decreases, and the same boat becomes easier to tolerate. But adaptation may disappear after spending enough time back on land. Some sailors even feel strangely unsteady after leaving the ship. Motion sickness, therefore, reveals something remarkable about ordinary perception. Your experience of movement is carefully constructed, not simply detected. Eyes, ears, muscles, memories, and expectations must cooperate every second. Usually they agree. Inside a moving vehicle, their disagreement can turn one peaceful journey miserable. Your rebellious stomach may simply be caught between competing versions of reality.